Imagine a man condemned for eternity to push a boulder up a steep hill, only to watch it roll back down each time he nears the top. This is the story of Sisyphus, a figure deeply entrenched in Greek mythology. It's a tale that might seem strange, even cruel, but it holds a profound truth about the human existence. Sisyphus, according to the myth, is doomed to repeat his task endlessly, forever engaged in a futile endeavor. His struggle, his ceaseless repetition of the same exertion, is an allegory for the human condition. In the grand scheme of the cosmos, life can seem like an uphill battle, filled with endless tasks that, in the end, seem to lead nowhere. It's a bleak outlook, isn't it? But this is the heart of absurdism, the belief that our search for meaning in an indifferent universe is fundamentally irrational, yet we continue to strive nonetheless. This tale of Sisyphus, my friends, is a classic illustration of the concept we're exploring today: absurdism. Absurdism didn't just spring out of nowhere. It has roots in the human experience and philosophical thought. A closer look at the origins of absurdism takes us back to the works of philosophers like Soren Kierkegaard and Friedrich Nietzsche. Kierkegaard, often regarded as the father of existentialism, grappled with the paradox of human existence and the quest for meaning. Nietzsche, on the other hand, famously declared that God is dead, implying that traditional sources of meaning were no longer credible. But it was Albert Camus who fully developed the concept of absurdism. He took Kierkegaard's and Nietzsche's ideas and pushed them further, articulating the human condition as an eternal struggle to find meaning in a world that is indifferent to our needs and desires. He presented life as a Sisyphean task, a never-ending cycle of futile efforts. So, absurdism emerged as a response to the human struggle to find purpose in an indifferent universe. Now that we know where absurdism comes from, it's time to delve deeper into what it truly means. Absurdism, at its very core, is a philosophy that revolves around three central tenets. First, it posits that life, in its purest form, is inherently devoid of meaning. We are born, we live, and then we die, all without a discernible purpose or grand design. This might seem bleak, but it's an essential part of understanding the absurdist perspective. Secondly, despite this inherent meaninglessness, we human beings are hardwired to search for meaning. We strive to make sense of our existence, to find purpose in our actions, and to discover some semblance of order in the chaos of the universe. This drive is so potent, so ingrained within us, that it's virtually impossible to suppress. The third tenet, however, is where the true conflict arises. This relentless search for meaning, according to the absurdists, is ultimately in vain. The universe, in all its vastness and complexity, remains indifferent to our plight. It's like trying to read a book in a language that doesn't exist. The search leads to a clash between our desire for meaning and the universe's refusal to provide it. This conflict, this tension, is what the absurdists call the absurd. But here's the fascinating part. The absurdist response to this conflict isn't to surrender to despair or nihilism. No, the absurdist chooses to embrace the absurd. They acknowledge the futility of their search for meaning, yet they continue to live, to strive, to seek. They choose to dance to the music of life, even when the melody seems discordant and the rhythm erratic. Why? Because to the absurdist, life's value doesn't lie in its meaning or purpose, but in the living itself. Life is a journey to be experienced, a canvas to be painted, a story to be told. And it's this journey, this painting, this story that gives life its richness, its vibrancy, its charm. Absurdism, then, isn't about giving up in the face of the absurd, but rather, it's about accepting it and choosing to live on. Let's sum up what we've learned about absurdism. Born from the philosophical musings of the likes of Camus and Kierkegaard, absurdism is the belief that human beings exist in a purposeless, chaotic universe. It introduces us to the absurd, that unsettling chasm between our thirst for understanding and the silent, indifferent cosmos. Yet, absurdism isn't a call to surrender to despair. Rather, it's a call to embrace life in all its bewildering complexity. It's about acknowledging the absurd and then defying it by forging our own path, creating our own meaning, and living passionately in spite of it all. Absurdism doesn't belittle our existence. Instead, it underscores the profundity of our human journey. We may seem insignificant in the grand scheme of the universe, but our ceaseless quest for meaning, despite its apparent futility, is what makes us profoundly human. In the eyes of absurdism, our quest to find meaning, despite its futility, makes us profoundly human.